It's good enough. The phrase we're
Is there
looking
more
for
or
is
less
good enough.
reverb now?
Who can say? And on that note, welcome to that Japanese thing. Today we're talking about the upcoming anime season. We're talking about this on the 1st of April, so you can see we're using the absolutely brand new website My Kitty List, which is a well-known anime resource. And I'm sure we'll be talking about lots of cat-related animes for the upcoming spring season. I'm Chris, your host. With me today is Dylan and Yesh. Welcome, guys. How are you?
Hello. Going well?
Good. Yeah, so this is basically only going to be about our opinions of upcoming anime. And I thought let's just go through them and we'll give a short opinion about whether we want to watch it or it looks good or it looks bad. I'm just going to select a thing and you should be able to see if you're watching the stream I'm sharing with you guys, what I'm looking at, so we can all be on the same page.
Your stream is off at the moment, as a note.
It shouldn't be.
You changed channels at one point.
Okay.
It is off. Can confirm.
Oh, let me just share it again. There we go. You guys should be able to see now. Okay. Anyway, so let's just go through everything. We're not going to really talk about second or third seasons of things. Obviously, you know, Kimetsu no Yaiba and Dr. Stone have new seasons. I thought the trailer for Dr. Stone looked particularly good.
It is an interesting arc that they are entering.
It's like the cultivation arc or something.
Exploration. They are actually going to go on the ocean and leave the
No,
country?
that was the movie. This is like a separate thing. That was cool though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Anyway, another one of these. If you like this, you'll probably like it. Okay, so this is our first new one. Hell's Paradise? Jigokuraku?
Jigokuraku.
I don't know, I liked the trailer.
I don't like the studio, so I'm not looking forward to this.
I'm a sucker for like Eastern supernatural kind of stuff, so I like the genre already, and
The feeling I get is it's going to be like... it might be an interesting enough concept to last 2 episodes before I'm tired of it.
right.
That's like the strong feeling that I get from it. That they're gonna, you know, I like the sort of macabre art style, but without good story, for me, that's only gonna last 2 episodes, and I'm gonna like walk away.
It kind of looks like it has like a kind of rotten protagonist who is not necessarily like a good guy, which I kind of like in a show.
I mean, that actually follows through with Studio Mappa's preferences. They're behind Jujutsu Kaisen and Shingeki no Kyojin. So, flawed heroic characters, or flawed non-heroic characters,
Yeah.
kind of their thing. The gore in particular is probably going to be quite well drawn.
That being said, it's not like it stood out hugely. It just looked like it would be watchable. Okay, this is technically a new one.
It is a spin-off, but it is new.
I don't know if you can see the little like cat thing going on here.
I couldn't even get through the trailer.
Oh my god.
I'm sorry.
Yes, just to be able to do that.
It was just annoying, high-pitched
High
gauge
pitched.
stalls. I can't.
Megumin, at least,
Guys,
yeah.
I can't.
Yeah, I mean, this is based off a spin-off series about Megumin's hijinks in Crimson Village. It's nothing about this is going to affect the main story. I think everything in this takes place before the main story happens.
It's like a prequel almost.
There are some things later on in the series which happen kind of concurrently to the main story, but it doesn't affect the main story in any way. It's kind of just fan service, really, as an anime. Kind of like Fumafu was for Full Metal Panic. Yeah.
So
I'm gonna
it's for
watch it.
people
It's
who
more
want to
Konosuba.
spend more time in the world. This is supposed to be like traveling in the world. If you enjoyed the world and the hijinks, then this is supposed to be more of it. As a fairly significant fan of Konosuba, though, I read the manga and some of the works of this, and I didn't enjoy it.
No,
So I'm
it
not
was.
planning on watching this.
I think maybe if in anime form it'll be more watchable.
It's possible, but it felt like it was aimed at an even younger audience.
Correct.
if that
That's
makes
my
any
feeling
sense.
as well. It
I
was
think
real
if
dumb.
You watch Konosuba specifically for Megumin.
Megumin.
Yeah.
But this isn't.
Specifically for her.
But this is like almost a different kind of Megumin. You know, it's a younger Megumin.
It's a more hijinks
Sure.
Megumin, so
It
she's
is
not
the
associated.
origin story of Megumin.
Yeah.
Mm.
I
But
mean,
like she's one of the most annoying characters for me in Konosuba, so I actively do not.
she hasn't had her comeuppance yet, right? In this. So like
in the
the-
story that's getting adapted, no.
Yeah, so the little bit of humility that Megumin has in Konosuba doesn't exist in this version of Megumin. She's incredibly annoying. Anyway, next. This is
a bit
finally
odd.
getting a second season, which
Ancient Magus Bride. Season
I don't.
2, yeah.
I don't really remember the first season anymore. It's so long ago that it came
I
out.
will say Ancient Magus Bride 1 was such an incredibly fresh take on fantasy.
Right.
After the 700, I joined the guild, I become a rank S adventurer, I defeat dungeons. The Ancient Magus Bride take on fantasy was very interesting, very cool. I didn't enjoy the romance, but I did enjoy the whole world setting.
Yeah. No, it was great. Kind of
so
your
to see it come
English
back is
countryside
interesting.
magic stuff is also
The
lovely to
discovery
watch.
of something fantastical. It had a lot of that discovery feeling to it, which is very interesting.
Of course, it ended on like a cliffhanger. And
Yeah.
when was that?
yeah.
Like 2017 now. So
I don't even
I
remember.
might
when
have
it
to
came out.
watch the last few episodes again or something just to refresh. I think I recall liking the dragons in this for some reason, but I don't remember why anymore. This looks great.
So, this is Mashle. I have mentioned it before, I think, when we were talking about the preview episode last time. Mashle's the one I'm looking forward to the most, sort of. I feel like
delinquent Harry Potter.
School Delinquent Harry Potter is an accurate method of talking about it. Mashle is a magicless boy born in a world where magic power is considered the only reason for someone to live or exist. And they are quite fascist towards each other regarding magic power. So those with more power crush those with less. And Mash, born with no magic power, uses the power of muscle to resolve his issues. It's more of a gag manga than a serious manga, but there are shonen elements, and the gags made me laugh in the manga volumes.
Episodes are there? Do you know?
Probably 12.
As far as I'm aware, this is going to be the first season, and there's only going to be 12 episodes
Okay.
in
Seems
total.
like a lot for me for this kind of concept.
I mean, the trailer is just him talking about shoe cream for like most of it. But yeah, it looked great.
It's a gag one, and I'm looking forward to it to a certain extent.
Overcoming magic with muscles, not with muscles, or the illustrious titles of divine visionary. I don't know. It reminds me
It
of
has, yeah. Sorry.
reminds me of someone who's like, oh, I've got a really stupid idea for a D&D character in your
exactly.
magic wizard university world.
It has the opportunity to be well adapted, at which point it will be funny, or horrifically adapted, at which point it will be Mob Psycho the live action.
Sure, why not? It looks good. I'm actually quite excited to see at least the first few episodes of that.
Psycho the live action wasn't that bad.
No, I tend to agree with you, Dylan, but Yesh have a different opinion. Especially
No, I don't think it's bad. I just think they got rid of a lot of the humor.
Sure.
That's not what we're talking about, though. So
No.
Indeed,
carry on.
carrying on.
Now we're talking about
Which is something
Ousama ranking.
I'm really looking forward to.
The Ousama ranking is something we might talk about in a few episodes' time. It's
Chest of Courage.
Treasure Chest of Courage, yeah, indeed. I don't know. I thought they ended it quite well in the first season. So I'm not entirely very excited to see a new season of it. But maybe it'll be great.
They didn't like end it as in definitively ended it. They ended it as in they ended the arc very well.
Yeah, but they ended every like plot point, you know, in that arc. There wasn't anything really to go after.
It's like the big open-ended. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I mean, they released like the monster, and then he went on a journey with Kage, right? To found his own kingdom. So I suppose that's the basis of the new thing. But every like kind of plot point in it, they did tie up, and then kind of released a little bit of it at the end again, I guess.
Well, yeah, I mean that's what's talking about that specific thing. Anyway, this won't be a new arc either. Technically, it's kind of like a side adventure, I believe, unless I'm mistaken.
Could be. Anyway, Yamada-kun My Love Story with Yamada at level 999. It's an online romance kind of thing. It seems like, so she was cheated on by her previous boyfriend who got another girlfriend with this online game they play together. And this is the new love interest who she also meets in that game. I don't know, it has potential, I guess, to be interesting.
That anime that you enjoyed, it was Gamers, right?
Gamers. It's not. Yeah, it's not similar to Gamers. Like Gamers was like a comedy. This is like a kind of a serious drama.
I just feel like it's very tropey in terms of its characterizations, and it's very. It's just not. It's like for a very specific niche audience.
Yeah, I mean, it's
like almost guarantee you it's going to have miscommunications via words being mistranslated.
Love is Hard for Otakus is kind of what it feels like a story in that universe. So it could be good. I don't know enough about it to actually make up my opinion. I'm gonna watch probably most of it.
Next up is Depression. No. Yep,
this,
Depression.
Surprisingly, this got a second season in another world with my smartphone. We know people who like this and are excited about watching the upcoming season.
Is it Melvin?
No, it's it's someone you like. Anyway, it is exactly what it says. He gets reincarnated and he has a smartphone. There's nothing to this. It's just kind of like gag after gag after gag kind of anime. It's fine. I thought this had already come out. I got a cheat skill in another world and became an unrivaled in the real world too.
The manga for this is actually surprisingly good. I'm not calling this a good anime. Please don't. I'm not suggesting anyone watch this. But this was at least a 6 out of 10 in the manga. So.
At least it's a slightly different premise from the normal isekai, right?
Kind of. But the reverse isekai has been taking off a lot recently.
Yeah.
So we've had a few.
But I mean, so he goes to the other world, he levels up
becomes
there, right?
a hero, defeats the demon lord, returns to our world.
And then decides to conquer Earth, right? That's the premise. More or less from what I can tell from the synopsis and the trailers.
No. He decides to keep a low profile and be a normal student. But the Onimyo, the people who fight demons in our world,
right,
find out that he has supernatural powers and attack him because they think he's an possessed human. And then they force him to take part in like this hidden shadow world war thing.
Okay. Well, that's kind of less interesting than just him wanting to like. Yeah. Oh, well.
Welcome to 6 out of 10, man.
Yeah, 6 out of 10. Maybe it could be done well. This looks
but
great.
The character jokes are relatively well written, so I enjoyed the humor at least.
So Insomniacs After School, Kimi wa Houkago Insomnia, is just about people who can't sleep.
We've had a series of these shows, and they've been pretty okay, honestly. The last one was that Traveling at Night anime.
Yeah? You mean the vampire one.
Yes, where the girl is like pretending to be a vampire or is a vampire. And it's just our boy traveling at night, really, and exploring that world with the girl. And this one is two people in an astronomy club who spend their nights on the roof together.
Yeah.
Wow.
It looks
What
sweet
an-
and romantic. You can kind of like watch it with a partner.
Yeah.
Carry on.
I will say the last two have been well done. I can't remember what the other one was. So I'm assuming that this one might actually be also kind of like heartwarming.
It's got all of those like slow kind of peaceful vibes about it, and you know, it's nice to watch every now and then. This is about a sociopath who wants to kill his classmates, particularly this girl. And it's a romance about how they kind of fall in love, I guess. I don't know how to feel about that. I think it's at least an interesting concept.
Yeah, it's got no draw for me.
That's certainly that's one way to summarize the story.
There is a
Yes.
surprising amount of yandere, like heavy yandere.
This is not yandere, right? This is just he wants to kill people.
Well, no, he's a loner who dreams of killing people.
Yes.
Because he feels like they're a different species to him.
Okay.
Correct.
Not because he's like. Okay, so I don't want to say not because he's not a psychopath. I'm trying to say, it's not that he has the urge to kill people because it's fun or something. It's more he views them as a different race and feels threatened by them.
Uh-huh. This
And
is a
a
guy that wants to
girl-
kill people and dreams about
It's
it.
a guy who wants to kill people and dreams about it.
Mhm.
And a girl that breaks into his personal space and is relatively yandere, actually, yes,
And who keeps teasing him.
about making him open up and show who he is for real.
Right.
And they forge a relationship that brings him back to being in contact with people.
I mean, you can't say it's not at least like an interesting turn on the whole kind of thing. But, I don't know. It's probably not going to be anything particularly special.
No, just no. Also, she's drawn as a fucking giant. So.
This is like a reverse Isekai return story. Summoned into the world for a second time.
It's kind of got the hints of the reincarnated into the same world thing again. You know, all of the
Exactly.
stories where you get reincarnated, but it's like 20 years in the past.
Yeah.
It's a very similar story to that. What happened is our guy became the hero, killed the demon lord, was betrayed by the local populace, and sent back to Earth. And then his entire class gets summoned back into that world with him. So he has all of the knowledge of this world and its politics and everything already. And he has a bunch of power because he's returning to the place where magic is.
So what you're saying is it's another isekai trash story.
I mean, no, it's like third, fourth generation isekai trash story.
So another isekai trash story. Cool, got it.
This is a 5 out of 10. It wasn't a waste of time to read it, but it's not something I would read again.
It's not unique. It's not novel.
It'll probably be
got
one of
unique
the more
elements
watchable
to
things,
it.
though.
It's entirely possible this might actually be one of the more watchable isekai this season, yeah.
Another romance one, Otonori no Ginga, next to the Milky Way, galaxy next door, is about and they call her like a falling star person.
It's someone who was supposed to have a great future and isn't, or something like that.
Something like so it's about a manga artist who is trying to support his two younger siblings because their parents are dead, because everyone's parents are dead in these sort of stories. And he can't keep assistants because they keep going off to do their own thing. And one turns out to be basically an alien, but highly competent in some regard or something like that. It just looks like a well-produced ethereal romance, I guess. That's going to have a lot of fantasy elements in it.
Reiwa Ira. You should get married, boys and girls. Marriage is great.
does like bringing that up, yeah.
It is a theme that studios have been asked to push. So
And I mean, it does kind of like smell of that a bit. It's romance schlock, which is there's nothing wrong with for people that like romance schlock.
Nope. Yes, you talk about this one, Tengoku Daimakyou.
Yeah, this
So-
actually looked interesting.
Tengoku Daimakyou is the one that I think I am most interested with regards to this season. Amusingly, this is one of the ones where I haven't read the manga for it, if it has a manga. I don't actually know precisely where the story is going to go before I start watching, which is kind of new for me for the last few years. But it's got that Something Neverland story again, where kids are being raised by a society and other, in this particular case, robots, and they appear to be being used effectively to create a society to serve another force that we are not introduced to at the beginning of this. And it's a little bit of this like thriller mystery type thing, where as we uncover more about the world, we get to see more and more about it being more of a damaged post-world kind of situation.
Yeah.
And I don't know what the mystery is.
It's got
Animation in the preview and the music are incredible, so I'm in.
It's got Arthur C. Clarke kind of vibes about it.
Some kind of sci-fi futuristic mystery thing.
Yeah,
going
humanity's
on.
like stuck in a space it can't seem to get itself out of. AI is running the show. There's some mystery outside of the walls.
Or the possibility that something we created has taken over.
Exactly, yeah. So yeah, I mean, it very much is just the City of the Stars done in like an anime setting. But I hope it.
I was thinking Promised
different-
Neverland again.
Maybe. I mean, yeah, you're right. There is some Promised Neverland kind of.
I'm not saying the
Things like
exact
that.
same story, but yeah.
I hope it's not.
we
like
begin
that,
in an
though.
orphanage.
I
Oh,
it's
no,
more-
I hope it
it's
doesn't
more
crash and
interesting.
burn.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm interested. They've obviously decided to put some effort in. They got some great composers. They got great voice actors. The studio is not trash. There's a real chance that this could be real solid. So I'm hopeful.
Yeah, I mean, it could be. It didn't really grab me the same way it seems to have grabbed you.
Admittedly, it's entirely possible that the PV has falsely advertised me into seeing something that's not as incredible. But man, I looked at the season and I have to admit, I saw a bunch of trash and like 4 things I liked. So
Yeah,
this
yeah.
is one of the things I'm saying I
This-
actually think we should actively look at.
This looks pretty awful to me, but I think maybe it would be very good to a certain kind of person.
This is one of the anime I wanted to tell people not to watch if they are feeling depressed.
Right. I mean, it's about a father that kills his daughter's boyfriend because he uncovers some sort of scheme that they're...
Sexual abuse, as far as I'm aware.
Well, yeah, so the boyfriend is maybe related to some kind of yakuza who is trying to exploit the daughter somehow, right? And then it's about bad things happening
It's about
after
a lot
that,
of
and
bad
cover-ups and various uncomfortable situations. I
If
think
your emotions are currently down a cliff, don't watch this.
very much like what's a Kuroshi Eye from a few seasons ago, kind of feeling very hyperdramatic, more realistic kind of things. Someone will really love this, but it's not me.
Yes, indeed.
I didn't like the first season of Eden Zero, but there's another one.
It's from the guy who wrote Fairy Tale. I'm not even giving it a chance.
I feel the same way. I don't know how to feel about this one. It's just a kind of a cutely drawn thing. Very much like Keep It Cool Guys, I guess. This
Is kind of a reverse on the formula. It's a city girl has moved into Tokyo.
Yeah.
It is also
so
a
traditionally-
high school anime, right?
This is a high school anime, cute girls doing cute things.
Yeah. So we're skipping.
Well, I mean, if you like, well, you're right. Normally it's like a Tokyo person moves to the countryside, right?
To the countryside,
Yeah.
yeah.
This is going to be like a fish out of water kind of story, but I'm not sure if it's sufficiently different to stand out in any regard.
Villainous anime. Before we talk about isekai, I just want to say villainous isekai are always better than isekai. I'm not calling this a good one. I'm just saying this is okay.
So the reason why, how do you say this, Yish? Ryalina?
The reason why Raylina,
Raylina.
I know it has an ana at the end there, but it's Rayliana, I suppose.
Okay. Ended up to the Jukes. It looks better than it should from the premise, right?
Villainous anime. They always are. They're always better than they should be.
I expended my villainous tokens after the first two that I watched. And now
Fair enough.
I'm now out of villainous tokens.
This
No,
is
I'm,
not
I'm
one
always
I would
down.
suggest.
I'm always down for a villainous kind of thing, but I don't know. It doesn't have quite like the appeal that some of the other villainous animes that have come out recently
This
have.
one,
I feel like
yeah.
it's more of the same thing. It's like
This
it's
is
like,
a
the first
sorry,
time you
yeah.
watch it, it's interesting. After that, it's just more of the same thing, and that same thing isn't actually that great.
I mean, this one is Korean, right?
Mm,
So from just knowing that alone, we know it's gonna be a little bit more,
well written.
well, more down to earth, right? It's not gonna be quite as tropey, and it's probably gonna be a lot more upsetting in some parts, I imagine, than it would be if it was a Japanese
So-
adaptation.
The story in this one is a little bit more twisty and turny. I'm not going to talk about it because it requires like half an hour of talking to get the web set up. But
Sure.
I would also call this a little bit more average. I wouldn't suggest if you're tired of the villainous thing to watch this, but as a first time watching a villainous anime, this is not a terrible one.
I mean, this would
It's-
probably be good, if this was your first one, and then you can watch a few better ones after that.
Yes, yeah. But this is a little middle of the pack, so I'm not going to suggest anyone watch it, but it's not a bad one. It's good junk food, I would say.
I don't even know what I think about this one.
The PV had some very nice character designs. The music was meh, and the story, if I'm honest with you, is not something I care about.
It feels like something that's been adapted from a game, maybe. Particularly like a card game or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'll watch the first episode and see if it grabs me. But other than that, nothing in the preview, as you say, really.
And here's the
anything.
big guns.
Okay, well, we're getting a second season of what I think is maybe the best season of Gundam we've ever had, so
Yeah,
this is going to be good.
Witch of Mercury is great.
A great cliffhanger with the outstretched hand kind of thing going on at the end of that season. We're going to get more of the plot, hopefully, and I think we're probably leaving school and getting into like the real stuff that's going to happen in this season. of Gundam.
Genuinely don't know what's going to happen, and that actually excites me. It's a Gundam. There's going to be a war somewhere.
I think it's probably the thing I'm most excited about this season, even though it is the second season. Okay. The legendary hero is dead. Yushiwa Shinda.
So, okay, just hear me out. The hero isekai'd into the world, and then some villagers accidentally kill him, purely by accident. So now they have to pretend to be him, but they have no blessings.
Yeah.
Go.
It looks funny. And that alone is probably going to make it better than a lot of the other things that have been released this season. I don't know if it's going to be as good as it could be. I mean, this could be excellent if it hits the right tone.
It's more of a comedy than an action, if that helps you
Yeah.
at all. But I personally am not going to be watching this, but it's not terrible. When I read the
Yes.
manga, it was okay.
Here's the question, because I feel like this would be very good for isekai lovers, right? Like, if you're really into isekai, this will be somewhat different, and you'll probably enjoy it. Coming
Sure.
from outside, it just looks like yet another isekai with kind of like a
It has
Yes,
like
another
a
twist.
weekend at Bernie's kind of feel to the whole
like
show.
a novelty in the beginning
Yeah.
that will get old real quick.
Unfortunately, I feel like that is an accurate representation.
Yeah, this looks bland. It's just about a protagonist that's serving some gods, and some things start to look fishy to them at some point, I guess.
Oh, so this one is the quintessential trash isekai this season, as a note.
Yeah,
Right.
it did look like it, like hyper
This is the big
horror-y,
one.
problematically underaged.
Our boy is like 10. His harem is like 12, and he has a
Yeah.
harem right off the get-go, basically.
So it's so great, right?
We're really reinforcing the whole like elves or lecherous Shotokan things in anime of late.
I
don't
mean,
know-
to be fair, Mushoku Tensei, Jobless Reincarnation, is kind of what spawned almost all isekai now. And there was a motherly elf figure that was a little, not like lecherous directly, but kind of lecherous-y.
No, she's. I mean, she's into
Not in the
anything that
beginning.
moves, right?
Yes, yeah. And then, of course, the father, but let's ignore that. Anyways, this is like almost a direct rip-off of that, but with less character.
Yeah. Moving on. This one looks actually quite funny and good. It's about a brother and sister reincarnated into another world. The brother gets absolutely no power whatsoever. He has stats of villager, and all of his like abilities are minimal at best. It feels like all the power went to the sister, and she's kind of like a One Punch Man reincarnation style thing.
Mm-hmm.
It just looks funny. There doesn't.
This is almost literally a remake of My Mother and I Reincarnated into Another World, another one of these,
Sure.
where the mother has a 2-hit combo that kills everything, and the boy is like has to follow her because she has to protect it.
But less problematic, hopefully. Probably
If
not.
it's
though.
your sister or your
from the
mother,
trailer,
I kind of don't care.
There was like lots of boob grabbing of the sister, so I don't think you're gonna win with that one. Sorry.
Fair enough. Moving on then.
I have no idea what this is.
This one looks great. So, Yuri is my job. It's about some people who work in an organization which teaches people how to be like, I don't know, competent like socialites, I guess, like a finishing school.
Mm-hmm.
And so it teaches girls how to affect that kind of soft tone you see in Yuri. But just underneath it all is just like a searing political drama about how everyone in that school hates each other and is plotting against each other. It actually looks legitimately great.
So are you saying that this is something you think we should watch?
I
Not all of
do.
us,
I know. I think it is something definitely to watch because it's got that kind of Moe Gap thing going on, you know, where everyone's like a bad person underneath the cute exterior kind of thing.
When I saw the trailer for it, I thought this could be really nice for someone else.
Sure. Did you watch it all the way
It's
to
probably
the
a
end
really
though?
good story for someone else.
Where
but
the
not for
masks
me.
break, because the most of the trailer is just the pretense, right?
I get that. I don't really like what you're describing doesn't hold much appeal for me either.
Okay. Anyway, you'll know if you like that sort of stuff, I guess. This is about a guy who inherits a cafe on the beach and wants to sell it, but there are 5 people who live there and they convince him to try and run it. And that's the story.
I was getting huge Love Hina vibes. If
I
you,
was just gonna
substitute
say.
the main character out for like a kakuri kind of protagonist.
No, he's more of like a cool silent type though, isn't he? He's not the loser that Keitaro was.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. If you
Yeah.
substitute him for a kakuri, a cool character.
Right.
So, but you know, the thing that carried Love Hina was the great soundtrack.
No.
I like.
Actually, I would disagree with that. Love Hina anime was a train wreck.
Okay,
Cool.
let's not discuss Love Hina. It's not part of
That's
this
fine.
season.
Anyway,
This-
I'm quite happy with the disagreement of this specific series for the
Mm.
trailers that I've watched.
Mm.
It like what draws me, and I don't know if it's gonna keep me. What draws me is the in itself looks very. Sure, what's the word for it? It's very interesting.
and it's like a rural kind of laid back beachside town vibe.
Yeah,
I like
it's a
that.
thing
I don't.
How I would describe it is, I don't know if I'd want to watch this, but I definitely want to visit the area.
Right, exactly.
Mm.
Yeah. I don't know if the whole like goddess thing is gonna actually play out in any meaningful way. I hope it's just like a metaphor for them being like attractive girls, right?
I think it's just a metaphor.
I think it would be bad if there was actually magic in this type of show.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, oh, never mind. Let's just leave that alone. Yeah, I think that's right. I think it would be better if it's just referring to the girls, and then we get to see their flaws.
Anyway, this is another music show. I don't think it'll be better than like Mashiro no Oto or anything like that. So I don't know. If you like orchestra stuff, you'll like it because it's in your wheelhouse. But it's just about a violin player joining a club, essentially.
Well, no. I mean, like the whole premise of it is the sort of character interaction between someone who doesn't want to play because of the trauma in his past from his parents divorcing.
Yeah.
And someone who wants to play but is really bad at it, and how they can kind of help each other, which I think would be an interesting story if you want that kind of thing.
But I mean, that is literally the story of the Mashiro anime
Okay,
from
but
like
it's not just
a
a
year
story
ago.
about an orchestra, right?
Yeah, but I mean, it's just a clone of that with orchestra instead of stringed instruments.
Yeah.
Right. But yeah, anyway, I mean, again, if you're interested in that genre, here's another one you'll like. If you're not, I don't think it's worth probably investing in. It's not like Piano no Mori. It's not going to be that sort of show.
Hidden Reiwa anime, go.
This one just kind of looks bad.
It is.
Yeah.
It is bad.
I don't particularly even. It's a Beauty and the Beast ripoff, right? Basically, that's the implication here.
Kind of. So it's a metaphor for marriage.
Yes.
A girl's village determines that they must sacrifice a girl to the animals so that they can be safe. This year, it is this girl, and because she doesn't hate the person she's been sacrificed to, and instead treats him well, she becomes a princess of the village, effectively.
Yeah.
And yeah, when your family sacrifices you to a man, if you treat him well, maybe you'll be treated well.
I mean,
Great lesson.
yeah, just to point it out, it doesn't actually mean sacrifice, it just means offering, I guess.
Yes, they offer her to the animals, correct.
Yeah.
I love Yesha's take. It's so great. It's so awesome.
Right.
But I mean, if you think I'm wrong or if you think there's another theme, feel free.
No. I mean, I'm not fighting you. I'm just saying I appreciate it.
Sure, whatever. It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Or not. This looks great. I love everything about it. So it's about a cultist who gets sacrificed to their god, and they get reincarnated in another world. And then they get sacrificed again. And it turns out that god is kind of more real in the other world, and reincarnates them again somehow, but with like cleric powers.
He has religious powers, yeah.
Yeah. And the other world is a world where gods don't exist, so no one really knows how to deal with him, or whatever. But anyway, it's like I love the fact that someone just made a thing about like a cult, and the cult wasn't the bad part of it, if you know what I mean.
Well, I mean, he did get sacrificed.
But I mean, that's like the selling point. Like, the cult was right, I guess.
I suppose that's true.
Is the point here. I mean, it's interesting, and that's enough.
I feel I'm gonna make a Rick and Morty quote.
That's great.
It feels like Isekai with extra steps.
Yeah, several extra steps and like some weirdness thrown in there. Apparently there's some other stuff about certain kinds of books, right? That one might find at Comic Kit.
Oh, okay.
So
oh no.
We'll see how bad it gets and how quickly it gets bad. But I'm kind of looking forward to it. Mahou Shoujo, Magical Destroyers. This is about returning otaku culture to Japan because the evil SSC has destroyed all the otaku in a
In
purge.
2008.
So this feels like it's just a remake of Shimoneta, doesn't it?
Yeah, it feels like that, or it's like a precursor to Akiba Maid Wars, right? I don't know.
Kiba Maid Wars is also.
Yeah, I
solid
don't know
one.
entirely how it feels. It might be good though, just from a stupid kind of point of view. It feels like a Japanese version of Teen Titans Go, but with some sort of plot.
So in Shimoneta, they banned dirty jokes. So there's government officials stopping dirty jokes from existing.
Yeah.
And it's the story of our otaku character bringing dirty jokes back to the world. So it sounds literally like the story of Shimoneta, except instead of dirty jokes, it's all otaku things.
Yeah. I don't know how it's going. There's just like a Sentai kind of thing going on here. with the
Yes, yeah, in the
otakus.
background.
Yeah. I think it might be real fun to watch. I don't think it's going to be anything serious, and that's probably the entire point of it. Second season of the Golf Girls thing. Another cafe thing with cute girls, but also cute guys and cats. This one actually has
aliens.
cats in the story.
This one is a little bit different because it's a lot more like. Do you remember that anime we watched where one of the gods of the deep came to the world and became a cute girl?
Sure.
Anyways, basically an alien comes to Earth to destroy everything but gets caught up by cute things. So they stick her in a cafe filled with
yeah,
cute
that's
things
true.
to prevent her
I forgot
from
that
destroying the
part of
world.
it. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's. I guess that's kind of like a Nyarako sort of thing, then, right?
Yes, yeah.
That
It's going to be a
if
cute girls doing cute things. thing,
Nyarako
but
ever got
yeah.
bored with protagonist Kun, she would destroy all the Earth and everyone who lives in it. But in the meantime, other things could happen. This looks kind of charming. So this boy is a transfer student who, on his way to school, overhears someone say that this girl looks like a god of death, a Shinigami. And apparently he's been kept in a basement for his entire life and takes that literally. So he thinks that's the coolest thing that's ever happened to him and immediately embarks upon a crusade to, become the disciple of the Shinigami. It's cute and kind of heartwarming. It
I will
feels
say
like a weirder Takagi-san kind of thing, I guess.
In a way, kind of. Although reversed, obviously.
Yeah.
But
sure.
I will say that the manga for this is really popular. It's apparently well written and very cute. A lot of people enjoy it. I personally don't read that manga, but it is highly regarded.
Square Enix has, the possibility of either being incredibly good or incredibly bad at adapting something.
That's also
So
true.
we'll see. I'm looking forward to this. Edomaya Elf. This is about a elf that is the shrine maiden / goddess of a shrine in Tokyo. And being an elf, she's been there for many centuries and has gradually fallen into a reclusive hikineat lifestyle. To the point where her shrine maidens think she is a terrible human being. I think it has potential just for some good comedy, but it's probably one of those things that'll be good for the first few episodes and then kind of fade out towards the end, I think.
Entirely possible. I will say that Kodansha is involved with this. They have a strong tendency towards pushing new storylines after the initial ones.
Yeah.
So I think that the story might change quite significantly after 4 to 5 episodes. But I am interested because the design of the elf is quite interesting. So I think they're going to be putting some effort into this.
Yeah, do we have...
Looks like they got some talent.
artwork did seem very detailed.
It looks like they got some good directors.
I
and
mean,
stuff in.
it's a great look. It's so... I don't know. It'll be great. I think it will be great for the first few episodes. I suggest everyone just check it out as just a funny otaku theme thing. This is on a mystery box wrapped in a mystery box, right?
I couldn't watch the preview for this. It said not allowed in your country when I tried.
Does it? Yeah, they seem to be playing. But anyway, yeah. So the first preview literally says nothing, except it just lists all of the people in their naked form that appear in the show, and it doesn't say anything about them. And then there's a second preview, which sort of hints that it's like a specialist assassin slash Ghostbuster service, I guess, that takes care of psychic people or magical people or something. But there is no actual synopsis, and I can't actually find anything concrete about it, so I don't know how to talk about it. It's just got a strange. They've obviously gone for like some sort of strange viral marketing thing going on here. I don't know what to think.
It feels
it
like
looks
a
well
supernatural
animated.
service.
It looks
like they belong to a government agency that does something involving supernatural people.
What's that anime
That's
I'm
all I
thinking
know.
of? Like a government organization that does like psyops things.
I don't know what show it is anymore, but I know what you're talking about roughly.
Yeah, Psychopaths? It looks like Psychopaths.
Oh yeah, Psychopaths. Well, without the horrific guns, but yes.
Yeah. But same sort of style. Maybe a lot more lighthearted though. We don't know anything really yet. This is about a guy that goes to a delinquent school who inherits a magical scroll which gives him the power to befriend people, but only bad people, it seems.
Delinquents.
Yeah. So I think it's about him essentially accumulating a bunch of evil people about him who become his friend.
Anime, right? That's what it is. It's a horror
yeah.
anime.
I don't know
Just
if
for
it's a
bad guys.
harm.
I don't know if it's
Yeah.
I don't know if it's
It is
exactly a
It is
horror.
a harm.
Having watched the trailer, it's all about like being magnetic towards or to
Yeah, so bad
badass-
people
badass
like him because of his magic power, essentially,
Yeah.
right?
Okay, so it's probably a.
But
high
I think
school
it's about
harm.
him and 3 normal people who are in the school who want to try and live like a normal high school life. And so he's trying to use this power to enlist like the evil people to kind of get in line with things and try and turn it into like a normal school situation. But I mean, it has some potential, I guess. I don't know if it's exactly in my wheelhouse though. Okay, Tokyo Mew Mew New again. Kizuno Ai gets an animation. Another Idols anime.
Perception.
Another Idols anime. About the Cinderella Girls people. This is sort of another Idols anime, but it actually looks kind of cool. So it has
Space Idols.
It has the feeling of a Macross or some sort of late 90s, early 2000s anime about it, especially in like the design of the battles. Earth has been taken over by some alien force which can only be defeated by weapons called Alice Gears, which apparently
wonder
can
if
only be
singing-
used by actresses. So I mean, it's very similar to a Macross concept,
It does feel relatively similar.
which I'm totally down for. Even though this looks probably considerably worse than that, because it also has like a lot of school arc elements to it, which I don't. It's just a trope at this point where Earth has been destroyed, yet people are still going to school, right? In anime.
Well, I mean, you have to raise people. You can't exist without raising people.
Sure,
Japanese lifestyle. If you're not in school, you're neat and therefore worthless.
I guess so. What is this one about even? I'm not sure what this one's about. I can't remember what it was from the Preview. This is another Earth Has Been Destroyed one, about climate change this time.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of looks neater, though. It's
kind of a survival anime, apparently.
yeah. So everyone's moved to the moon, and it implies that there's like a lot of like augmented reality stuff going on there. Some places look like all Tokyo and London areas are kind of mixed, and people are vying for territory. It's got a cool animation style.
About that.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but when I saw the augmented reality in quotation marks, it felt like someone needed an excuse for why the CG was so terrible.
Right.
So they used, it's AR. It's not supposed to look real.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, whatever. I mean, it can kind of work in some ways. I'm quite forgiving about CG and anime. You know, I mean, most of the shows are made for like $200,000 or somewhere around there, so you can't expect too much about that sort of stuff. And that's it. I don't know if there's anything else you guys
No.
wanted to
No,
bring
this
up.
season was very weak for me.
There is a shorts thing called Chibi Godzilla, which might just be worth watching if you're into like those 5-minute sort of animes.
Mm-hmm. The short form.
Mm-hmm.
Short form has had some interesting stuff. I do note that we didn't talk about Oshinoko.
Oh right, that's true. That's actually probably going to be one of the bigger ones. That is
I think it's going to be more or less the biggest hit of the season outside of Kimetsu no Yaiba. So
it's got Megumin's voice actress, I think, as the main character.
she's kind of in everything, though. So
well, she's in everything that people think might be good.
yes, yeah. Takashi Rie.
Yeah, yeah, indeed. So yeah, I mean, this looks like it will destroy you emotionally.
That's the goal. That is
Indeed.
kind of what it's about.
And in fact, I think it will. Well, I know it will. If you've read where it's from, you know what you're in for. I wouldn't put myself through that though.
No,
Again.
more yandere kind of horror.
I wouldn't describe it that way.
Okay, I don't know how or where you would describe it. They're like really obsessive from what I've seen in the trailer. Is it not?
It's about how show business destroys people.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the guy who will do anything for her in very creepy tones. Maybe
Well,
they
I mean,
just
that's
put, like creepy
fandom.
music over the trailer. Maybe it'll be very Genki.
It's going to be super upbeat and super depressing at the same time.
But it's about the danger of fandom and how people who are stars have to be perfect at all times,
And obsession.
and what that does to people mentally.
I think it's going to be a lot like Nana Nana.
Yes, kind of.
Yeah. Maybe it's one that'll be popular with like a female audience. I'm not entirely sure though.
I'm going to be watching it. I
don't-
don't know how great it's going to be, but I'm going to be watching it.
Are you?
Yes, Oshinoko is one of the manga that I wish I had started when it first began, because as the chapter count went up, I felt like the barrier to entry was too high. So if I can just watch this and catch up a bit, I will gladly do that.
Already.
But yeah, clearly a great lineup of voice actors. Alright, that is everything. And once we have watched a few episodes, we'll come back in a few weeks and tell you what was actually good.
And what surprised us with how bad it was.
In the meantime,
Mash, here's hoping it's not you.
in the meantime, we're off to watch D&D. Alright guys.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you for listening. This has been The Japanese Thing. Bye for now.
Bye.
Bye.